Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. We are now getting a look at just how destructive this weekend's tornado outbreak was. The path of the twisters spanning 6 states: Mississippi, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Illinois, and Kentucky. The track of just one of these twisters stretching more than 200 miles, potentially the largest in history. As of now, 36 people have died across 5 states, 6 of them in Illinois, where search and recovery efforts continue tonight at an Amazon facility after a tornado ripped through Edwardsville. We now know the names of some of those who lost their lives there. And in Mayfield, Kentucky, the hardest hit area, more than 80 people have died, among them workers on the night shift at a candle factory. Tonight, the governor explaining the scope of the destruction, saying the town has lost more than 1,000 homes. We have live team coverage from Kentucky to Illinois to Arkansas. We begin our team coverage tonight in Mayfield, Kentucky, where families are beginning to trek through what's left of their small town. For some, glimmers of hope as the National Guard clears pathways to assist with the search for their loved ones. NewsNation's Gerard Jabali is there tonight. Gerard.
Good evening, Ruta Bay. It's still day 2 now of the cleanup efforts here in Mayfield. Most of the people that were coming out were just trying to get started. And you know how to really eat an elephant. It's one small bite at a time. Unfortunately, it's going to take that long. This is a monstrosity of an effort that it's going to require just to get back to normal. But we do know that this community is changed forever. It's never going to go back exactly the way it was. But what we are seeing is some pretty incredible people telling their stories, telling us about what it was like going through that night, with some very positive thoughts even after the fact, after they lose just about everything that they could think of. But they're still very grateful to be around. We talked to one young mother who has a second child on the way. She's 9 months pregnant, and the only thing she was thinking about was her parents and trying to reach them. And today she spent her day there helping to clean up.
Rebuilding's here, a camper, which is way over there now.
Search efforts are underway for one of the most hard-hit areas of Friday's deadly storms. For many, the tornado that ran through Mayfield has taken away much of what they've worked their entire lives for. But expecting mother Anahi Pacheco forever grateful for the 2 lives spared in the ruins of her childhood home.
They said they were in the hallway first. And once they heard that the windows were like cracking, they heard them cracking, they ran to the bathroom, and my mom told my dad to get a blanket for them to cover themselves.
Most of the property is destroyed, but Anahi's parents were able to take cover from caving walls in a hallway bathroom, shielded by just a blanket. In the midst of the ceiling collapsing, Anahi's mother's focus was on the safety of her daughter and her unborn child. She called her daughter even as she herself faced a life or death situation, cramped inside a bathtub with her husband.
She called me while the roofing was coming down.
She called you during the tornado?
Yeah, she was like, I just wanted to let you know, I want to make sure that you're okay because I'm 9 months pregnant.
For Anahi, it was her faith that she believes kept her parents safe. God was watching over them.
Anahi has been, of course, very just concerned about her parents, concerned about her child. And as she talked to us, you could really get a sense that while she was still so broken up, she's still just very, very happy to still have all of her family members and one soon to be on the way, a soon to be daughter. But we do know that this community is going to take a long time before they can get back to having real life again. And this is, of course, happening in a community just before the Christmas holidays, the last thing they really want to feel, but they're missing that warmth of light all around them. No Christmas lights to be seen, but they're all still very grateful to have each other. And again, it's going to be a tough night for them as there's no power, there's no water. Every structure we have seen has practically been reduced to some rubble like this. And they've got to start from the very beginning, rebuilding each building that you see behind me, brick by brick. So they've got a long road ahead of them. It's going to take years. Meteorologist Gerard Jabali live here in Mayfield, Kentucky. Back to you.
Gerard, thank you. And we see that devastation behind you. Does it look any different than it looked yesterday when you arrived?
The biggest thing is the fact that daylight reveals a lot. Last night we arrived just as the sun set, and you were just getting a few glimpses. You really got to see a whole lot more, the vast expanse of things, Ruta Bay. The track, we were able to get some aerial video even and see it. and you could see the width, the destruction. It was quite intense. But you definitely see that there's a definite carved path right through the heart of town. Some communities on the outskirts were spared the worst. You could survive some of those winds, but near the center where that circulation tracked, unfortunately right over the candle factory just to the southwest of town, was hardest hit. Many of the structures are just not built to withstand those kinds of winds, and there was just nowhere to hide. Luckily for Anahi, the bathroom that her parents were in was one of the few walls left standing, and that's why a lot of times you hear meteorologists like me telling everyone getting into the bathroom is one of the safest places to survive a tornado, where all the other walls in the home were pretty much wiped away.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.